What's up, YouTube? Got a quick little overview review for you of the Kansept knives Fenrir. Kansept, a Chinese company. This is a collaboration between them and Sparrow knives. If you look at it, you can actually see that's the Sparrow knives logo right there. Pretty cool looking little skull thing. Good little EDC knife. Got probably more pros and cons. We'll go ahead and go over that in the video. We'll start out with the measurements and the specs and everything. The measurements, what I'm getting here, from the very tip of the blade to where the handle begins, sitting right at 3.5 inches. Cutting edge right at 3 inches. Got a really good forward choil there, helps out with the grip and the ergonomics of it all together. You got right at 7 7/8, right about 7 7/8 from the tip to the end of the handle right there. So that's the measurements on it. Go ahead and do size comparisons. Spyderco Paramilitary 2, Spyderco PM Para 3. Compared to both of those, it's kind of in between. I'd say it's more overall size is, I don't know. I mean, it's right in between, I guess. More cutting edge than the Para 3, definitely. But more of a presence like the Paramilitary 2. Some more size comparison knives here. This is the Ritter Hogue RSK MK1 Doug Ritter. It's the Hogue Deco. More along the lines of the size of the Ritter Hogue there. And last comparison I got, this is the Microtech stitch with the ram lock. And I kind of wanted to put that in there just because the blade shape kind of reminds me of that. You got this kind of arrowhead swedge going on here of a blade shape. You got essentially the same thing with the stitch. You look at them in hand, and ergonomics on them are pretty comparable, although the stitch is, to me, the stitch is more comfortable. Not trying to be biased just because it's American made knife from Microtech, but to me the stitch is a lot more comfortable than the Fenrir. But there's some definite similarities there. Price point's a lot different when you compare them. The Fenrir is sitting right about $159.99, I think, $160 for this version, and there's a bunch of different versions. Ramlock stitch, whenever it's available, is sitting right around $300. So that's it with size comparisons. Go ahead and get the calipers out here. Blade stock thickness. Put the thickest part here right along the spine of the blade itself. Sitting right at 118 thousandths right there. Behind the edge. Pretty close to the edge anyway. 42 thousandths. 41.5 thousandths right there at it. Not a terribly great slicer, but also not like a big bulky overbuilt knife. It's kind of right there in between with the blade stock thickness. It's actually built to kind of cut and slice. It's not really built towards batoning or extreme hard use overall. I'd say as a knife, it's more towards like more geared towards like cutting boxes open, maybe even self-defense because of the ergonomic grip you can get on it. You know, you can choke up like that, do more of like stabby motions with it, puncture into things. Draw cuts are actually, to me, and everyone varies I guess, but when you grab it like that, doing a draw cut, if you got like a piece of cardboard, paper, rubber, whatever you're laying out, it's a pretty good grip, pretty good ergonomically. It sits well doing draw cuts like that. Let's see, we'll go ahead and finish the specs on it. Got myself some new stickers for the channel. Forgot to put the actual YouTube handle on there for that, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's I thought that was pretty neat to be able to get some stickers made for the channel. Anyway, zero out the gauge, scale there, put it on there. 4.3, 4.4 ounces. 4.4. Yeah, so it's sitting right at 4.4 ounces. That's a little over the ounce to inch ratio, but not too bad. I mean, it's not extraordinarily heavy. It's not too much over the ratio that tends to be like the rule of thumb. If you're wearing like regular pants, even khakis or dress pants, it's not that big of a deal. If you're wearing gym shorts, it is kind of a little bit clunky, not really like overwhelming or anything like that. Looking inside of it, it's not really milled out. It's got titanium bolsters right here, and this is a G10 inlay. I think I mentioned before, but it comes in like a bunch of different patterns and varieties. You can get the coated blade, you can get carbon fiber, I believe, as opposed to the G10 on here. You can get Damascus. I think you can even get the blade in Damascus, which would add to the price. But the G10 that comes on this one, the $160 version, to me, it's not the greatest looking G10 by any means, but it feels really nice. I like the way that's contoured, kind of. They probably could have put the jimping that's on the front flipper right here. It would have been nice. It is nice to have that on the front flipper, but they could have kind of put that right there too. Would have helped to kind of help your thumb out there a little bit. As far as deployment, thumb studs work just fine. Awesome means of deployment with the thumb studs. Feels great, feels perfect to me. Flip it straight out like this and it pops right out there. Front flipper, great, works great. Middle finger flip, if you hit the thumb studs just right, you can get that too. You know, that works too. Action on it's great, good action. It's running on Teflon, I believe. Ball bearing Teflon, steel ball bearings inside Teflon washers, maybe. The camera to focus. I don't even know if I've shown it up close yet, but titanium, that's the G10. That's the blade itself, says Fenrir right there. Greg Schaub, that's the designer right there. S35VN on the steel. And that's the model serial number for Kansept for the knife. Let's see, what else do I need to do here? We'll do the hardware on it. If you check the hardware out, you got the pivot, T10. It's a T10 screw on the pivot, which is really good. Good size for the pivot. doesn't strip out at all really, unless you're getting crazy with it. But the thing with this, and one of the negatives of it, I think, as far as disassembly goes, if you're going to disassemble this knife, is you got T6. All the body screws, I'll go ahead and show you guys that. T6. All the body screws are T6 on it. Which, I mean, it doesn't have an overwhelming amount of hardware on it, I guess. But still, you got 1, 2, 3 there, you know. And then on this side, you got the same amount plus the pocket clip screws, which are also T6. Kind of makes it, you got to just be careful taking it apart. It's not impossible by any means, but just got to be careful not to strip your bit out. Also, the pivot's free spinning, so you're going to need 2 T10s if you're going to take this thing apart all the way. We'll do, let's see, carry profile. Get the cut up jeans pockets out here. I love the pivot that came with this thing. It's a very nice titanium, or not pivot, I'm sorry, very nice titanium milled pocket clip. And not really deep carry, but not shallow either. I mean, all you got sticking out is that right there. So, works really good in and out the pocket. Doesn't tear your pants up. Not overwhelmingly hard or easy to get out or put back in. They did a really great job with that pocket clip. $150 as far as I'm concerned. $160, great knife. And I think I already touched on ergonomics. Ergonomically, it really is nice holding it. It's a little heavy kind of on the butt end just because of that titanium bolster, I think. So, like if you're running around in gym shorts or you got on sweatpants or something, I think something, you know, along the lines of that, like a lightweight, plasticky FRN knife would be a better choice. But it's not really like overwhelmingly heavy or anything like that. It's kind of in between, I guess. The steel, I don't think I talked about the steel. S35 VN is a great steel for everyday carry. It's not a budget steel by any means. It's not like a 9CR or 8CR or D2. It's a good steel, holds an edge good, reasonably corrosive resistant. As far as my opinion of it goes and my experiences with S35, it's an upgrade over S30V. Not quite as good as S45VN. But a pretty good steel, especially for the price point. They do a lot more premium knives than S35VN, and they do cheaper knives than S35VN. So it's a pretty good steel for what you're paying for the money. Kansept Fenrir, great knife. I would definitely, I would recommend this knife. It's a great knife. Downsides are a little bit chunky of a boy there. The hardware is not T8. And as far as downsides, that's really all I can think of. It's a pretty good knife. If you're not into that aggressive arrowhead kind of a blade shape, I guess that could be a downside. But ergonomically, it's great. Comes in all kinds of different options. Steel's not bad at all. And yeah, just average overall. I would say it's a good knife. I would recommend it. Probably give it like an 8 out of 10, maybe. Anyway, that is the overview, rambling review, whatever you want to call it, of the Kansept Fenrir and the Knight's Edge. And I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you like the video, hit the like button, please. It helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe, that would also help out a lot. And stay tuned for more content. And thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day.